My name's Ian Gerard and I'm the writer of 3 Weeks in Spring, the Gallipoli Story. The idea came to me, it was probably about 5 years ago now, when I was in a library with my eldest daughter, who's now 8. I was just browsing the shelves and I looked at this sort of little pamphlet. It wasn't much more than a comic, and it was about the story of Simpson and his donkey. And on reading that, I just thought, this is a fantastic idea for a show. It's a fantastic story. It's a story of bravery, yeah, but it's more what people do to cope with impossible situations. And it always seems to me that the best definition of heroism is ordinary people doing extraordinary things in impossible circumstances. And I think Simpson sort of epitomised that. What we're doing in Penrith in April is premiering the show in concert format. So that means you're going to see the action, you're going to get the real sense of time and place in terms of costumes, in terms of the acting and the movement on the stage. You're in the trenches with the soldiers, you're there writing your letters to Winston Churchill, you're there as a kid wondering where her daddy is.
When's my daddy coming home? When's my daddy coming home?
Writing the show, it came lyrics first and then music. We want to showcase a whole range of emotions, so it can be up, it can be down, it can be sombre, it can be reflective.
Ian came armed with words, but also with some strong ideas about the sort of mood, sort of feel that he wanted for each of the songs. We've ended up with 26 songs. There's a song called We Go at Dawn that I'm very proud of. It's something about men singing that's a real highlight of this musical for me. Just being able to work with blokes and blokes singing Blake's songs.
Get ready, boys, we go at dawn, and we'll down the cast, till we can begin it.
In 1905-15, which is basically Simpson's funeral piece. We go from instrumental into singing back into instrumental, and it's one of my absolute favourites.
Matt Barry is directing the show. He's been like a real breath of fresh air. With these Penrith shows originally, we were just talking about doing them as a very standard concert performance. So effectively there would be microphones up at the front of the stage and people would stand and deliver and sing, and there would be no interaction. And Matt said, no, I reckon we need to create that sense of time and that sense of place, and have the actors moving around and the performers moving around. And just seeing that take shape in rehearsals now is great. The main characters are Simpson, there's Charles Bean, who acts as the narrator, and there's John Monash as well. There's also these 4 fantastic characters who start off as showmen. So the show opens at the Royal Easter Show in Sydney, so it's got a deliberately upbeat opening to counter the darkness that's going to sort of envelop later on as we get to Gallipoli. So there they are. They're jokey, they're larrikins, they're the kind of guys who, you know, semi-con men, you know, they'll rob you blind, but they'll make you laugh while they're doing it, so you don't actually mind. So they're getting everyone to take position and to take these pot shots at the sideshow stalls, and then they say ready, aim, fire, and that's when it changes. And then the showmen become NCOs, who are recurring characters, and the men who were at the show are now actually storming the beach at Anzac Cove, and that provides the transition, and it happens very suddenly, and the music changes from being quite upbeat to very dark and quite sort of grungy. And that's one of my favourite moments.
We've been excited by the music and the words that we've been able to bring to this, but we needed the people to bring all that to life.
There's a young guy called Nathan Budd who's playing the Simpson character. He's really starting to blossom and really grow into the role. So we get across this sense of self-confidence and almost a sense of destiny that Simpson had, but also the softer side to him that was very much a part of the character. A guy called Simon Dane, who is playing the Charles Bean role, which is the war correspondent and also the show's narrator. There's Ciara Donoghue, who sings a song called Bodies and Boys, which is set in a military hospital, and she sings it along with a lady called Anne Fennell, and their voices are both beautiful, sort of semi-operatic quality voices. They're these recruiting girls who are singing up a storm, and that's a knockout number. And also in some of the supporting roles as well, who only have a few lines here and there, but there's real quality that's emerging. The show's got multi-generational appeal. I think it's actually very important for children to see the show because it's a fresh and very accessible way for them to see what happened not only in World War I, not only at Gallipoli, not only why the Anzac legend is so significant, but also it kind of helps contextualise war in general, but in a very accessible way.